Can you put that video up you just linked? You don't have to put sound on or anything. Just put that video up.
This video is where you see him put his hand on the hood of the car.
It's where you see the car hit him.
The car makes contact, but he is not in front of that car.
He is cleared. How else do you get hit by a car?
If she turns the wheels to the left, then she crushes him.
He's going to die. Look at his feet. Look at his feet.
I'm saying the only reason he's not dead is because her wheels are turned to the right. He doesn't know that when he fires the shot.
Hang on, just watch his feet, guys. His feet is to the side of that front left tire. Do you see that?
Yes. So if she steers into it, she runs him over. He's not in front
of that car by that point. He puts his hand on the hood. He tries to, as if to say, like, no, I'm serious, stop, which is not protocol, by the way. You cannot find protocol in any law enforcement anywhere in the country that advises to stay positioned in front of a car.
I believe it's like subsection 111B of something that says that, if you believe you're at threat, a vehicle is obviously a weapon, like you can fire back. There's actually precedent of this in Minnesota, but like
this is like saying the person shot. This is like if it was a gunfight and you're like, as you can see, he missed. The bullet went past the officer and hit the wall, and yet he shot the person 3 times in the head.
Mm-hmm.
The perpetrator missed, ladies and gentlemen, and you can even tell that they were intending to miss because look at that grip. Look at the direction they're pointing the gun. They're just trying to move the officer out of their way so they can flee the scene of their crime. That's all my client was guilty of here.
Mm-hmm.
But you will not find protocol in any law enforcement group across the entire country that's going to say, position yourself in front of a car.
I don't know anything about that, but I know that this person, I know that he's going to be scot-free here.
You're probably right about that. You're probably right about that.
I've seen plenty of cops do exactly what this guy did and just literally light windshields up on people, climb up on the hood and light their windshield up.
If this wasn't a political thing, no one would give a fuck. It's only because this is a political thing that people are frantic to be like, contact was made. By contact, you mean hitting someone and ramming them with a car that you think is going to be used to kill you after you were dragged by one of these people 5 months ago and were in the hospital for severe injury.
He leaned on the car as it was moving.
And so he deserved.
The policies that are no.
So it's kind of wearing.
No. Hang on. The policies that are in place for these law enforcement agents are that they are supposed to position themselves away from that. Like, so you cannot put yourself in a situation, like it weakens your case if you put yourself in a situation where you had to use the gun in the first place. If you would have made the decision instead to step aside and she would have, they would have pursued her, whatever. They had her license plate number. I mean, what was the urgency here? But what he did was he positioned himself. He leaned in front of the car and then waited until his feet were clear of the path before he took that first shot. That's what makes it questionable. And he was.
This is what I would expect to happen to me if I did what she did.
Yeah, it would happen to anyone.
Expect this to happen to me.
It is only because of politics.
If I were in her shoes,
this is nuanced.
If I were in her shoes, I would be so quick at putting that car in park, getting my hands up, and surrendering loudly.
But
like
you
that would be my first reaction.
You guys seem to be ignoring the testimony from witnesses that she was.
I am, because I saw so many of them say that the guy fired 5 shots when he only fired 3.
But you're ignoring the idea that she got conflicting orders. You're just like,
I don't believe
ignoring that.
I don't believe eyewitness testimonies. I believe video.
Wait, which one screamed drive the car into me right now?
I heard all those eyewitnesses say he fired 5-6 shots. No, he didn't. He fired 3 shots. So if they can't even get the number of shots right, I don't trust their word on this.
Well, here's the thing. The cop that fired that gun was filming with his phone. They don't have to wear police cameras in Minneapolis. The Biden administration implemented a policy where all federal law enforcement had to wear body cameras. Trump decided to end that policy. Okay, he can do that. That's his right.
I'm against that.
But he had his phones out and he was recording. So why don't they release that footage?
Well, I'm sure they probably
should.
I bet they will.
You know who else should release the footage?
But I think it's important to understand that things would escalate and orders would change. I bet initially they thought like, hey, what are you doing, you knucklehead? Get out of here. But then when it became clear as she sat there and impeded them, I bet it escalated to a point where they said, now you can't leave. And they began arresting and detaining her for interfering with law enforcement.
Mm-hmm. This impeded them thing is overblown because I saw her wave the other SUV by like 10 seconds before the shooting.
I think, again, she'd been stalking them doing this all day, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what happened before this. I only have the video to deal with, but I can imagine a scenario and make one up where she keeps blocking them. She's not letting them go somewhere that they want to go, clearly. Like I know they're like ICE, so they don't really do traffic law, but the fuck is she doing sideways in the middle of the road? Like, we might need to see if this is drunk driving.
I don't know.
I would, if I'm just a Joe Schmo cop and I see that, I'm like, you had anything to drink today, ma'am? Like, we're going to have a whole conversation if I see you sideways parked in the middle of the road.
She was apparently affiliated with a group called Ice Watch that would harass and go around to things like this.
Yeah, I don't know. I we'll see what comes of it, but I would bet heavily on this guy having no issues. Of course, the internet is already doxing him, just like they doxed the Delta commander who did the Venezuela raise.
Christy Nome doxed him first.
She said his name.
I mean, that name was going to have to be public.
He was the same guy in June who got dragged 30 yards, and then that person's name.
So she accidentally doxed him, but the internet is like running with his like biography and a picture of him. This is a murderer. Share this everywhere you can. It's a little different.
Yeah,
I agree. Yeah, I can take that. Yeah, I think that once Christy Nome made his identity real, everyone was like, we know who he is, and they get excited about it.
Yeah, they're also, like I said, they're doxing that Delta Force commander who led the raid in Venezuela as well. They're sending his picture around.
Yeah, they're trying to. I thought I saw one of those was fake, like that they got the wrong guy, which happens all the time in these scenarios. But I don't know. I know that it was shared by people trying to incite harm to them. Like that was the goal of them doxing. Yeah, obviously that's what doxing is. You're trying to incite harm against someone.
I'll tell you what the people of Minnesota shouldn't do, and it's anything violent, because the Trump administration would love to see you take the bait and start burning down Minneapolis and roll in there with some scary shit. And
they're already sending another 2,000 ICE.
They're not stopping. Well, yeah. Well, I mean, they're going to complete their immigration.
Adding
raids.
More people is what I'm saying. I'm sort of agreeing with your point. Like they're
ramping things up. But I would be more worried about them sending in National Guard from a different state, or sending in Army or something like that, and declaring martial law in the city.
Did you see Tim Walz?
The governor activated. Yeah, the governor activated the Minnesota National Guard.
That was smart.
And there were 10,000 people that demonstrated last night. By all accounts, it did not devolve into.
If they were Murka, they would have taken Helm's Deep. It was that many people.
Sure, yeah. No, Gandalf would have wanted. Don't even say that.
I mean, it would be nice if the federal government cooperated with the Minnesota authorities, because right now the heads of state in Minnesota are claiming that they're iced out. Like the feds, the FBI are not sharing evidence, and that.
Why would they share? Like
they are obligated to. You're supposed to collaborate together if you're going to do. Anytime
there's running the investigation, it's the other way. It goes the food chain goes up, right? Like what I've seen is and I hope the Trump administration latches onto it, is that they blame this on local law enforcement not working with them. There should have been local law enforcement there during those ICE raids, handling things. Well, then it's a failure on local law enforcement.
No, Tim Walz told when ICE called the Minneapolis Sheriff's Department, they didn't get an answer. They asked for help, and Tim Walz told them not to cooperate.
I might be mistaken, but I thought there were local PD on the ground. Maybe they showed up after the fact.
No, he said not to cooperate. He told Minneapolis PD, Tim Walz did, he told them not to cooperate with federal law enforcement. And now he's saying that he wants to activate the National Guard. I'm not making this up. He used the word war. He invoked the Minnesota First from 1863 about defending Minnesota. He brought that up.